I'm proudly an Australian now. Like, I came here from Hong Kong, went to university, and worked in some of the highest levels of government in Australia. Did some amazing things in both public and private sector. The country has been amazingly good to me. It's given me my lovely wife and children. They're all Australian, so it's given me great gifts. But that doesn't mean I turn my heritage on Hong Kong as my home, or my Indianness as a Goan. I think all of those things together sort of come together as a mark of who I am. And the same would be for you. I think, you haven't given up on your Indian heritage, have you?
You're absolutely right. And I think that I'm also, like you, as you highlighted, a proud and passionate Australian. And I think that what I have started to spend a lot more time thinking about is the values. So what values do I stand for? What values in this society that I'm a part of in Australia do I relate to? What values did I bring with me from India? Are those values still the values of the communities that I was a part of in India? And a lot of it has been in transition. So hence, hence the state of questioning, seeming confusion about who I am. But, I am incredibly proudly passionate about Australia. My whole work, is committed to, driving Australia's national prosperity and security. And, it's something that I'm proud of because you asked me a question right at the very beginning about what led me to this work here at AsiaLink Business. And I highlighted that it was this desire to do work like I was doing in consulting, but with a mission and a purpose. And that mission and a purpose in the case of the work that I do with AsiaLink Business is very much to secure Australia's future prosperity and security. So I feel very passionately about this country and the contribution that I feel and I should make. It's just that it's a constant question of values. And I think, times like this with the pandemic, I think it's a positive if people actually stop and think about values deeply. And I think that's a journey that I'm going on, and I'm glad I'm going on that journey. And I'm also recognizing that there were a lot of things that I thought were settled in my mind or nowhere as settled.
Oh, look, I'm such a supporter of this, right? I'm very similar. I'm a similar place to you. I constantly sort of question. I know what there are core values. There are core values, and you always go back to those, whether in your personal life or your corporate life or whatever it is, to help guide you. But there are some areas where you kind of question, particularly as society changes. Well, actually, that was my view. Was that really the right view? And I don't think anyone should be ashamed of based on evidence changing your view. Like, that's okay. It's a good
absolutely
thing. Right.
Absolutely, Jason. Actually, as we've been speaking, something that I didn't think I would go back and have a look at, but I have been, and I just wanted to bring it up, was the Australian Values Statement from the Department of which is shared. It's available online through the Australian government. But as someone who chose to become a citizen of Australia, at the time of becoming a citizen, obviously, I said that I've confirmed and read these values, and I subscribe to them. But really interestingly, the current environment and the state of the world and the pandemic, but many of the geostrategic tensions in our region, the rise of protectionism, the rise of intolerance has actually made me go back to this value statement.
Wow.
So it says, I understand Australian society values respect for the freedom and dignity of the individual, freedom of religion, commitment to the rule of law, parliamentary democracy, equality of men and women, and a spirit of egalitarianism that embraces mutual respect, tolerance, fair play, and compassion for those in need and pursuit of the public good. The Australian society values equality of opportunity for individuals, regardless of their race, religion, or ethnic background. The English language as the national language is an important unifying element of Australian society. Now, these 3 points, which I've read all together, they meant something to me when I said I wanted to become a citizen. But now I find myself going back to these words, and they have a totally different sense of value to me, because I feel that each one of these words actually have a value in themselves, that I get the privilege of living in Australia, that when I look across the world in many, many, many other countries, I would not have the privilege of enjoying rule of law, freedom of religion, freedom and dignity of the individual. These are things that I never stopped and thought about, but I feel, very proud to be Australian.